Hello, this is Triumvirate Media's social media marketing campaign for the 2026 KC World Cup. My name is Sharday Kane, and I will kick off our proposal. Next slide. Our campaign aims to optimize social media presence by learning from successful strategies of previous host cities and identify key characteristics of the target audience. Our objectives include increasing brand awareness by releasing new content daily to increasing social media engagement by 50% across all platforms. This campaign will leverage existing digital properties such as the KC 2026 social media channels, FIFA's digital resources, and collaborations with local celebrities and athletes to promote the event. Next slide. Our audit of these owned media channels showed us some of the data that you can see here on the screen, with these being the top 3 channels where soccer fans consume sports. It is important that we dive into these as much as possible. We considered both quantitative and qualitative metrics. Quantitatively, we reviewed factors such as the age of the accounts, the number of posts and followers, and the number of likes and comments on each post. Qualitatively, we reviewed the type of content being shared, photo, video, or text only, the tone of the message, and the reception of this message by the audience. Despite boasting a large following of over 9,500 followers as of August 4th, 2024, this account is largely inactive, much to the detriment of the KC 2026 brand. Historically, the account has shared images, pre-recorded videos, and infographics. However, there are extreme gaps of time between each of these posts.
Thanks, Sharday. My name is Jack Howard, and I'm gonna talk about the target audience. So we broke our target audience into 2 segments. We have a local Kansas City resident, and then we have other Midwesterners. For our local Kansas City segment, we valued local participation and community feel. We also felt that KC had earned a recognition for having major interest in soccer and hosting events. An example of this being that they invested more than $600 million in soccer facilities the last 15 years. We wanted to target other Midwestern populations because they would have the ability to travel easier to Kansas City, especially with other large cities hosting the World Cup in the US. They also would feel comfortable participating and getting involved in the event. Next is the demographics. So for age, it was 18 to 34, made up 40% of the audience that watches the World Cup in the US, followed by 35 to 54 that encompasses 30%. In the next slides, our buyer personas dive a little deeper into this, where they are within this range. Go back a slide. Because they're more familiar with the event and then they're more inclined to participate in the activities. As far as income is concerned, we have a range of 35,000 to 199,000. The average household income of our target audience is $80,000. And this is important because the audience would have a willingness to purchase premium, authentic merchandise or tickets to the games. Our marketing goals weren't specifically geared towards income, but they were considered. And then finally, for values, we wanted to target people who enjoyed entertainment and excitement. They would have a sense of community and desire for social interaction, and also nostalgia for people who grew up playing and following soccer. Okay, next slide. For our first buyer persona is Teacher Cam. He's 28 years old, which is within our target audience range previously discussed. He's a local Kansas City resident, which stays true to our segment of staying local to Kansas City. He's young, single, and an urban professional. He's educated and aspires to obtain a master's in education. He has a general interest in sports, but is not a fanatic. He's budget conscious, so he has financial awareness and understands what he can and cannot afford. And he has savings goals in mind to be able to pursue future interests, such as his master's degree. And then lastly, he uses social media for communication, entertainment, and education. And he's interested in the World Cup events to socialize with friends and learn the history of the event. Next slide.
Hi, my name is Imad, and I'll be talking about our second buyer persona, and it's about a young man named Diego who is in finance, and he's a soccer fanatic by night. He's a 25-year-old man. He lives in Nebraska, Omaha, and he graduated with a degree in finance. He has a roommate, enjoys playing FIFA, and hangs out with friends. Um, his hopes and dreams include earning more money and traveling the world. His worries include not being able to save enough for a house of his own. He enjoys playing games, spending time with friends and family, and being active on social media. He's a fan of Netflix, Nike, and Xbox. Next slide. Our first goal is to increase brand awareness by releasing new content at least daily with organic, paid, and influencer content with a goal of increasing the number of followers on each social media platform by 5% every month from January 2025 to December 2025, 1 year span. And then we're going to base this on current follower counts being sustainable to grow throughout the year leading up to the World Cup. Next slide.
Thanks, Ahmad. My name is Kevin O'Donnell, and I'll talk about how we're going to achieve each of our goals. So for goal one, some of our efforts toward achieving our goal of increasing brand awareness include the choice of using Instagram, Facebook, and X, as this is where our buyer personas reside, social media-wise. Instagram specifically will feature an experience strategy in the form of a challenge where winners can receive prizes like branded apparel or even tickets to the quarterfinal match that'll be hosted in Kansas City. The experience strategy will garnish followers simply due to its design and requirements for completion. Additionally, participants will need to tag 3 friends, which will also boost brand awareness with every post. Facebook content will incentivize awareness by featuring daily trivia, where users can earn points to use in a fantasy soccer or football game that'll be hosted on our interactive app. Prizes will be given to winners of the fantasy soccer game as well, so we expect it to be popular, which will also contribute to building brand awareness. Finally, our activity on X will be some of our earliest efforts to increase brand awareness, and will include participation in live tweeting major soccer or football matches over the next 2 years, and frequent commenting in the comments of our FIFA partners and advertisers when they make World Cup related football posts. And next slide.
Our second goal, thanks, Kevin. Our second goal is to increase social media engagement by 50% across all platforms, 10% each month by the start of the World Cup. And we want to increase shares, likes, comments, and overall interactions. We will track engagement monthly, implementing interactive content strategies to improve fan engagement leading up and during the World Cup to achieve a 50% increase in engagement metrics within 6 months from today. Next slide.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. So some of the tactics we'll deploy to increase our social media engagement will again include some of our efforts in the challenge, which will also include liking and reacting to the initial post from our celebrity endorser. We'll also have a Fan of the Week campaign. So the winner of the Fan of the Week each week will be someone who's significantly involved with likes, shares, user-generated content. And so these 2 tactics specifically will help us to achieve a sense of community and engagement amongst our target audience, especially within the Midwest. So both of those will help us to meet our goal of increasing social media engagement. And next slide.
So for our objectives, we have 4 objective categories that we want to focus on to help achieve our goals of increased brand awareness and engagement that results in positive feedback and enhanced fan experiences. First one is promotional. We want to highlight the event, the teams participating, and what Kansas City has to offer for fans that will make the event fun and memorable. For service, we want to provide information about logistics for the event. That includes schedule of games, transportation, parking, accommodations, anything that can help reduce the amount of stress and provide comfort around the event in Kansas City. For retail, we want to promote ticket sales and merchandise, such as special offers and deals. We also plan to have collaborations with local businesses leading up to and during the World Cup. And then lastly, research. We plan to track metrics of fan engagement and brand awareness through social media interactions such as likes, shares, comments, along with weekly content posts, and how it is received by consumers through these metrics. We then would take that feedback and then fine tune and adapt our content to better fit the audience. Next slide.
Hello, my name is Alex Petrowski, and I'll talk a little bit about strategies and tactics. So some of the ways in which we will look to spur engagement and increasing our presence on social media are shown here in the slide. One of the items that we'd be looking at are daily countdowns leading up to the event. Depending on the day, this can take the form of different soccer players with jersey numbers, things to do within the local area, or current cultural topics, all which would look to spur engagement in others. We'd also look at behind the scenes photos and videos that can spur interest in non-soccer players or soccer players of the sport that may have not seen that side of the professional aspect before. We'd also look into paid influencer posts, since they have such a large reach and a wide variety of audiences. Influencers can be leveraged to really grasp a wide array of individuals that may not otherwise be interested in the event. Next slide. Speaking to some of the metrics and KPIs for our marketing effort here, within the metrics category, when we're looking at fan engagement through the created apps as mentioned prior, this will help achieve the goal of increasing social media engagement. In doing so, it'll measure and quantify the number of users on the platforms that we create for social engagement. We will be able to see how many individuals are participating and the rate of increase or decrease in engagement leading up to the event. We'll also have interactions at the Fan Fest. In order to gauge the success at the Fan Fest, we can assess how many individuals interact with the marketing team there. This will help achieve the goal of increasing brand awareness. And as highlighted before, participation through the grand prize contest, tracking participation in the giveaway will aid us in increasing our SMART goal of increasing social media engagement. The number of users participating in the giveaway should be correlated to the success of the social media awareness efforts by spurring active engagement in the contest. Speaking to some of the KPIs, if we're looking to monitor and measure these efforts throughout the campaign, we'll be able to adjust strategies based on the performance data, targeting the SMART goals that we have of increasing social media engagement by 50% and 10% each month leading up to the 2026 World Cup. Next slide.
Thanks. My name is Alyssa, and I'll be covering our content schedule and calendar. Our calendar uses Instagram, Facebook, X, as those are some of the main platforms that they use, and it involves tailoring content strategies to each of the platform's strengths while aligning with our campaign goals of increasing social media engagement and brand awareness. By utilizing these comprehensive content calendar, we're able to effectively build momentum and engage a diverse audience and increase brand awareness leading up to the World Cup, which aligns with the specific goals mentioned above of engagement and growing the platform followers.
Thanks, Alyssa. My name is Kendall, and I'm going to cover the 4 different sample social media posts that our team has created. These posts include a giveaway post on Instagram, a caption contest on Facebook, a Q&A on Facebook, and a poll on X. Each of these sample posts is strategically designed to help KC 2026 achieve our goals for the campaign of 1, increasing brand awareness, and 2, increasing social media engagement. So let's take a look at each of these sample posts. Next slide, please. First, we have our giveaway contest that will be hosted on Instagram. So the image on the right is the photo that will be shared with Kansas City 2026 followers, and the text on the left will be the caption that provides further instructions and details about the contest. So users will have a chance to win 2 free tickets to the KC 2026 World Cup. And in order to enter the giveaway, they must comment on the post, follow the Kansas City 2026 account, and tag at least 5 of their friends in the comments. This sample post will help KC 2026 accomplish both of the goals for this campaign. So first, it will help increase brand awareness, as the contestants are required to share the content with their friends by tagging them in the post. And it will also help increase social media engagement, as contestants are required to interact with the post by commenting on it, as well as following the KC 2026 page. So in essence, the contest essentially creates a positive feedback loop that generates more and more engagement as more and more people are exposed to the content. Next slide, please. So the next sample social media post that we prepared is a caption contest on Facebook. And for this contest, we will post the image on the right, Lionel Messi, with the description on the left, to ask people to come up with the funniest caption for the photo. And our team will choose the funniest caption, and the winner will receive Kansas City 2026 themed items like t-shirts and soccer balls. This contest primarily focuses on our goal of increasing social media engagement with our existing fans. So by requiring fans to comment on the post in order to participate in the contest, they will engage with KC 2026 content rather than passively scrolling by it. This post may also help increase brand awareness thanks to the Facebook algorithm. So posts with many comments are deemed more relevant. So it's likely this post will become more and more visible to a wider audience as more and more people participate in the contest by commenting on it. Next slide.
Thank you. So then when looking at some of the other posts that we can provide, by posting daily countdowns and behind the scenes photos and videos, we're able to engage followers consistently. And we're able to use this content strategy, as mentioned before, like fan of the week, to encourage the comments, likes, and shares. And with these tactics, we're able to foster a sense of community and anticipation among the fans, and this will help us reach our goal to increase social media engagement by 50% across the platforms. When looking at X, we're able to consistently post relevant content twice a day, which will ensure the visibility and the reach of each platform. Within these platforms, we can also provide organic, paid, and influencer-driven content to attract new followers and expand the audience base. Engaging these new followers will with compelling visuals and insights about the World Cup enhances the brand visibility that aligns to our goal number 2, which is to increase the brand awareness by 5% monthly. By having consistent content, we're able to maintain our audience's interest and attract new followers. With the interactive elements, we can foster engagement and build that community around the event. And by being strategic with the use of our platforms, we can tailor the content to capitalize the unique strengths and the audience demographics to maximize our outreach and engagement. When looking at the management and measurement plans, each month we will monitor engagement metrics closely to adjust our strategy based on the performance data. By consistently optimizing content and fostering audience interaction, we can effectively achieve our goals of increasing the engagement by 50% and growing the platform followers 5% monthly, leading up to the successful and widely anticipated World Cup event. In addition to tracking primary KPIs, we will use metrics to gauge the campaign's overall success, including measuring fan engagement through the interactive app, interactions of the Fan Fest, and participation in the grand prize contest. Tracking the numbers of participants and users in these activities will provide additional insights into campaign effectiveness. This data will be compared against other marketing efforts, such as the influencer purchases or single advertisements, to evaluate the relative impact of our campaign initiatives.
So speaking to the breakdown for the budget for this marketing campaign, we looked to spread some of the funds across this period of time leading up to the event. So breaking it out a little bit, looking at the second half of 2024, we look to spend about $25,000 on initial social media clicks and advertising. This would be to get an initial advertisement and early word of mouth out to individuals. The first half of 2025, we'd look to up that to 50,000, increasing the amount of social media clicks and advertising that we would look to initiate, and then beginning the creation of the fantasy game marketing app. Second half of 2025, we'd go to 125,000, including this time around influencer advertising posts, starting ads around the town, and finishing up the fantasy game marketing app management. First half of 2026, which would be the year of the event, we'd then start to have advertisements around town, initiate purchases for swag at FanFest, and include budget for the grand prize and giveaways for all of our marketing aspects. In the last half of 2026, which would include the event itself, we would then look to leverage influencer advertising posts to gain that immediate awareness and attraction for their audiences. Next slide.
So in summary, our campaign leverages digital marketing and social media to optimize impact, increase brand awareness and engagement, and provide an immersive and memorable experience for attendees. We prioritize real-time engagement and feedback, explore partnership opportunities, and incorporate emerging technologies to enhance the fan experience and achieve our goals of increasing the social media engagement by 50% and growing the platform by 5% monthly, leading up to a successful and widely anticipated World Cup event. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please reach out to our company. I'm going to stop sharing and then I think I can stop.